Today, I wish to share with you on the topic change. Ladies and gentlemen, do allow me to begin my sharing by asking you to imagine this simple illustration. Now, imagine that mother bird is about to lay an egg. Soon, an egg is laid. And we represent the egg, living in a shell, protected, so very comfortable. However, we know we cannot turn to a bird if we remain in the shell, and we will surely go bad if we remain as an egg. Therefore, it must be hatched. Change is something that presses us out of our comfort zone. It can be uncomfortable to change, but we must allow change to take its course in order to progress. One of America's best-selling authors, Gail Sheehy, quoted on the importance of change. She said, "If we don't change, we don't grow. And if we don't grow, we aren't really living." Meaning, we are as good as dead if we do not change. Seriously. Sometimes we may feel awkward if we do not make changes. One good example is in children's upbringing. In the process of children's upbringings, some routines need to be changed too. The time will come when a little boy who once loved to be hugged and kissed no longer wants to be kissed goodbye in the schoolyard by his parents. Teenagers prefer to be treated in a more mature manner as they grow. They will become easily agitated when they are still being treated like small kids. Just imagine at my age, if my mother still comes to me and reminds me saying, "Darling, go to the toilet before bedtime. Don't wee in your bed, dear." I don't need such a reminder anymore. Do you? Sometimes change is merely a choice to make one feel more comfortable and satisfied. I'm sure most teenagers or even adults will understand this message. Simply to impress others, a young man would change his hairstyle, dressing, or lifestyle. Some would even spend countless hours working out in the gym to get big muscles and look macho and manly. Likewise, some ladies wouldn't mind spending time and money in boutiques or beauty salons to bring about a difference or transformation on how they look, because it will give them total satisfaction and boost their self-esteem. For them, change is very important. Change is not a respecter of persons. Everybody experiences it. We can be greatly affected even by the slightest change in our surroundings. What's more, if the change is great, we will surely face a lot of discomfort and uncertainty. We must be flexible and be ready to adjust ourselves to the changes around us. It can be a rough journey for us if we cannot adapt ourselves to change. For example, the triple crisis that struck Japan in March this year, caused by the largest earthquake, which generated a 30-foot tsunami and caused a set of catastrophic events at the Fukushima nuclear plant, has changed the lives of the Japanese. The surviving victims of these tragedies will need to work together and manage the situation the best they can. They will have to adjust themselves to the changes in order to survive. Some say change isn't for chickens. We cannot run away from it. We have to face it. Remember, change is won by victors and not victims. And that choice is ours. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end here with a quotation by Charles Darwin. He said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." Well, if we do not like something, we should change it. If we cannot change it, we should change our attitude. Whatever it is, we need to change for the better. Thank you.
Thank you, contest chairperson. A wise person once told me that laughter is the best medicine.
That same person also said that the best way to de-stress is to laugh. That person is none other than my dear mom. Well, mothers like to believe that they're always right, and they usually are. And my mom is not any different. She too believes that laughter is the best medicine. But she's not the only one who believes in the healing powers of laughter. In India, there are doctors who use laughter therapy on their patients. It seems all that laughing helps these patients to recover faster. Medical studies have proven that a good laugh can actually boost the immune system by increasing the immunoglobulin in our blood. Even the famous King Solomon had once said, "A cheerful heart is good medicine." And speaking of medicine, there's a plant in Arab called laughing flower. Like its name, its seeds can make you laugh. You laugh for half an hour, then you fall asleep. Its medicinal benefits are currently being used by dentists on patients who are allergic to the painkiller Novocaine. In short, laughter works wonders as a pain suppressant. Now, have you ever laughed so hard that tears start streaming down your face? Or you fell off your chair? Or spat out your food? Or, as we Malaysians would say, laugh until stomach ache? Well, how did you feel after such a good laugh? Naturally, one would feel calm and relaxed. That's because laughter reduces the levels of stress hormones and increases the levels of health-enhancing hormones called endorphins. In short, laughter can be a natural stress reliever. Now, who would have believed that something so pure and so natural like laughter can help us so much? It helps us to de-stress, and it also helps us to keep fit. Did you know that laughing for an estimation of 100 times is equal to 10 minutes on the treadmill or 15 minutes on an exercise bike? That's why you often feel exhausted after a good long laugh. It's like you've just had an aerobic workout. Norman Cousins, a prominent political journalist, had once said that laughter is so beneficial physically that it is like inner jogging. Well, I do know of a few yoga centers that uses laughter as a form of exercise. Naturally, they call it the laughing yoga. Most of the participants in these classes are ladies. They believe that other than staying healthy, laughing can help preserve their youthful looks. There's a pose in these classes called the lion's breath, where you're supposed to stick your tongue out as far up as possible, roll your eyeballs upwards, and at the same time allowing the air to escape from your lungs through your mouth, hence making the sound similar to a lion's breath. Believe it or not, repeating this pose more than 10 times a day actually give you a permanent facelift. Now, isn't that amazing? One could save a fortune on expensive facial creams. Now, laughter can also serve as a universal language. You don't have to speak the same language to laugh together. Anyone can recognize laughter, whether you're a Singaporean, Malaysian, Tanzanian, Alaskan, or vegetarian. Laughter is contagious. We often laugh at the very sound of laughter. A baby that giggles, gurgles, and gaggles can bring a smile to almost anyone's faces, even a stranger. So in short, laughter can help people to connect and establish rapport. Now, it's sad how grown-ups forget to laugh as they age. I was told that children laugh about 100 times a day, while an adult only laughs 15 times a day. Now that's a shame, since laughter feels so good and is good for everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we should all remember to take the time off to smile or share light moments with our friends and loved ones. After all, laughter is organic. Laughter is free. Laughter is truly the best medicine. It's like the great Mark Twain once said, humor is mankind's greatest blessing. So let's not take this blessing for granted. Thank you.
A very good morning to the teacher, Mrs. Chairperson, the honorable judges, the royal timekeeper, teachers and friends. Assalamualaikum. Do you know what I am here today? Well, the reason I'm standing here is because you are going to listen to what I am going to present. My speech today entitled, What Can I Say? Dear friends, let me give my first point on what can I say. We must be wise in our daily spending. Save your spending by not buying things that you do not need. We tend to buy things that are not necessary to us. Think wisely before you decide to buy something because, who knows, maybe you need some money later on for other things as well. Next, go shopping only when you have to. And before going to the mall, make a list of what to buy. We tend to see people go on a buying spree when there is a sale carnival, without giving a thought whether they really need the items or not. In other words, we must plan our budget. Second point, to save your water, electricity, and telephone bills. Do not leave the tap on while you are washing plates. Instead, use a basin to wash them. In this way, you can save water and bills every month. So, apart from helping your mother with household chores, you are also helping your parents to save money. To save on electricity bills, please turn off the lights and fans when you are not in the room. You can also save your telephone bills by calling someone when you have something to say. Do not waste your money and time to chit-chat over something that is not important. Ladies and gentlemen, let me proceed to my third point. What can I say? Food is one thing you must not waste. Before throwing the leftovers, just think of the poor and hungry people around the world. They really need the food badly. We should be thankful to God because we are lucky to live in a prosperous country and peaceful country. We do not have poverty or war. Therefore, buy only what you need to eat. If you have leftovers, just find ways to use them. I have a suggestion. Give the leftovers food to some animals. Lastly, and the most important is, do not waste time. There is a Malay proverb that commas. There is also English proverb. Time waits for no man. Therefore, plan your time carefully. We as students must read books or surf the internet to get information. Cut down on our time for watching television. In this age of borderless world, where everybody is gaining knowledge for their future, we do not want to be left out. So, my dear friends, please do not sit around and daydream. We will be the next generation, the pillars of our nation by year 2020. Always bear in mind that time passes without waiting for anyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I raise my speech, I would like to stress again the 4 main points from my speech. First, do not spend on unnecessary things. Secondly, please save your water, electricity, and telephone bills. Third, do not waste your food. Lastly, do not waste your time. Hopefully what I have said here will give some input to you. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for spending a few minutes listening to my speech. Thank you.
Good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, learned opponents, ladies and gentlemen. My topic today is social networking. My name is Karnival and I am 12 years old. It cannot be denied that the internet has connected people all over the world, near and far, with blogs, tweets, Yahoo, Gmail, and of course, Facebook. Without exception, all my friends who I regularly contact do have a Facebook account. And I'm pretty sure all of you here today have one too. Am I right? But if you were listening to me attentively, you would remember that I am only 12 years old. But the minimum age to sign up for a Facebook account is 13. So, how many of you parents here are aware that your children below 13 do have a Facebook account? And what are you doing about it? Nothing? Well, perhaps this is the reason why Mark Zuckerberg is a multi-billionaire. Social networking today is more than just a chit-chat. By opening communication channels between two parties millions of miles apart, the world is now but an oyster. Two complete strangers who met online have now become a married couple. Isn't that amazing? £10 during my parents' days are now a thing of the past, where a letter may take up to a week to arrive and another week for the reply to be received. Well, 14 days have now been reduced to instant communication, where you can even see your overseas friend via Skype, Yahoo, Gmail, and you don't need ink or paper. Most of all, you don't have to buy a stamp or walk to the post office. Social networking today is instant, and it is taking the world by storm. Even senior citizens, like my grandparents, are chatting with their relatives via Skype from Malaysia to China. Parents are talking live to their children studying overseas. My classmate's mother taught her son studying in London how to make nasi lemak via MSN Messenger. My friends and I, we video chat on a daily basis. And it is all for free. Isn't that just great? Social networking is now an accepted communication tool between two business entities. E-signatures are now accepted on official documents. If we can accept internet banking, Isn't that enough proof that we are putting our money where our mouth is? eBay and Amazon.com are just two examples where millions of dollars of trade have been successfully completed. Today, there is literally nothing you cannot buy or sell on the internet. Immoral and disgusting it may be, even babies are for sale on the internet, as I have personally seen these syndicates exposed on CNN. Networking, as defined by Webster's dictionary, is the development of contacts and the exchange of information. But ladies and gentlemen, social networking today is way beyond that. In fact, it is so powerful, even our Prime Minister uses it to spread his political views and informs his citizens via his blog as to his future plans for the government. In my school, we have a school portal. Absentees can log on to find out what work needs to be done. Latest changes, upcoming activities such as festive holidays and co-curriculum events are all posted on the portal to inform parents and students well ahead of time. I can go on and on and on and on. But ladies and gentlemen, by now, if you have not gotten the drift that social networking is an accepted necessity in our everyday lives, you must be living in the dinosaur age. Ladies and gentlemen, from research scientists to a 12-year-old doing her homework, by the mere taps of a few buttons and the slide of a mouse. By the way, I'm sure you know it's not the type who eats cheese. Loads of important information can be obtained. The invention of the internet has changed the entire concept of social networking. Everyone, social networking is here to stay. Unless you disagree, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chairperson. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning to the honorable judges. My name is Muhammad Rashdan bin Muhammad Radichu. Recycling towards a better environment. That is why I'm standing here to share with the members of the floor my thoughts and opinion regarding my topic today. According to the Concise Oxford English Dictionary 2008, recycling can be defined as converting waste into usable material. But what exactly is waste? Waste is anything rejected, abandoned, or otherwise released into the environment in a manner that could impact on it. Environment is the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animals, or plants live, including air, water, land, plants, and man-made things. In other words, reusable materials contribute to us having better surroundings because less waste means less impact on the environment. Dear members of the floor, why do we need to recycle? First and foremost, we need a healthy environment for our own health and happiness. Why is that so? Think about how much garbage or waste we produce daily, in school or at home. In Malaysia, 15,000 tons of garbage is collected daily. This is so much that it would take only 9.6 days to fill up Petronas Twin Towers with garbage. Recycling is important in order to take care of our environment and saving money as well as resources. There is also a campaign on recycling. Learning about recycling different materials can be an easy, fun, and educational project for the whole family. Thus, it will lead to a healthy and better environment. How can we have a better environment? Through recycling, learn and practice. Reduce, reuse and recycle. Practicing all these three activities every day is not only important for a healthy environment, but it can also be fun too. Reduce the use of natural resources wisely and less than usual in order to avoid waste. We can practice reduction by selecting products that do not have to be added to landfills. Reuse. Reuse materials in their original form instead of throwing them away. Or pass those materials to others who can use them too. For example, use washable cups or travel mugs instead of disposables. How about durable goods like a bicycle? We repair them rather than replacing them when they are break. This is another form of reuse. We will be helping our environment, and our pocketbook will thank us too. Remember, one man's trash is another man's treasure. The third R is recycle. That's what we do, recycle. Recycling occurs when we save and take reusable materials where they can be remade into either the same or new product, rather than to just toss them in the trash. Anything in our home or school that cannot be reused can be recycled into something else. Paper products can take on different forms. An old phone book or coloring book might become one of our school books. Let's look at the effects of recycling that benefits both the environment and people. We might not notice it, but when we recycle, there will be less waste or trash to dispose of, and it leads us towards a better environment. It saves space in our existing landfills and helps reduce the pollution caused by waste. Recycling reduces the needs for raw materials so that processes like deforestation can be reduced and the rainforests can be preserved. Huge amounts of energy are used when making products from raw materials. Recycling requires less energy and therefore helps to preserve natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, before I end my speech, I really hope we can make a little change that will have a huge impact on our environment through recycling. 1. It is our responsibility to create a better environment. How can we do so? Learn and practice the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Finally, it will affect both the environment and, of course, the people. Recycling towards a better environment is not impossible. In fact, it is very simple. With that, thank you and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning to the honorable judges, the timekeeper, teachers, and all my friends. After listening to so many excellent speakers this morning, it is now my turn to take the stage and bring to you something interesting that would catch your attention. My topic is something that we all can relate to. I am going to talk about how to be a good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, no man is an island. Everyone has friends. When we think about a friend, more often than not, we tend to think of how good or bad this particular friend has been to us. But how often do we stop and look at ourselves? Are we a good friend? How do
become a good friend? Let us look at the ways. First of all, effective communication is important. Sometimes when we say something, our friend interprets it as something else. Let me tell you a small joke. A man walks into an eye clinic and said to the nurse there, "Nurse, I keep seeing spots in front of my eyes." The nurse then asked the man, "Have you seen a doctor before?" The man answered, "No, I don't see doctors, I only see spots." So, you see, even a simple question like that may be misunderstood. We must ensure that our friends receive the message that we intend to send. Communication is not only through the words that we speak, but also through our tone of voice, our facial expressions, our gestures, and actions. My dear audience, honesty and sincerity is the cornerstone of a good friendship. People around us will not believe us if we don't mean what we are saying. Always speak from the heart. There is a popular saying that goes, "Our words will not be able to show what our heart doesn't feel." Words that come from our lips but not from our heart will not be accepted by our friends because the message they receive is different from the words they are hearing. Therefore, we must always be sincere to our friends. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine a world where everybody talks and no one listens? Now, that could be a huge problem. It would be like driving through a junction where the traffic lights on all sides turn green at the same time. This brings us to my next point, which is listening. Be a good listener and you will become a good friend. Listening opens the door to the world around us. It certainly opens the door to a good friendship. Sometimes we are so engrossed in our own opinions that we fail to hear what our friends are trying to tell us. When I listen to a friend, I can share her joy, I can sympathize with her misfortunes, and I can understand her fears and her concerns. Listening allows us to learn more about our friends. My dear audience, when we are nice to others, it is just natural that we expect others to be nice to us in return. However, it doesn't have to be this way. In my opinion, we should be kind to our friends for the sake of friendship itself. It's the human value that matters more. Finally, to be a good friend, we must be a good friend to ourselves first. It means we must have self-respect. How would anyone listen to us if we don't listen to our own conscience? How would anyone trust us if we don't have faith in ourselves? Ladies and gentlemen, I have come to the end of my talk. In summary, effective communication is important in a friendship. Always speak from the heart. Be a good listener. Do not expect any favors in return. And lastly, we must have self-respect to be a good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have all enjoyed listening to me as much as I have enjoyed talking to all of you. Good friendships can last a lifetime. We will not lose a good friend because although she may be very far away from us, she will always be close to our heart.